hope you can see behind me, right there, there is an electric bike that is foldable. It's really tiny and it only weighs 20 kilos. It's from this Danish brand Hygge bikes. This bike is called Virum step folding e-bike, and on the day of recording it costs 1,680 euros. The Virum is surprisingly small when folded and it fits everywhere, while manufacturer says person up to 6'5" could comfortably ride it when it's unfolded. As a 1m91cm rider that can completely extend my leg while sitting on this bike and not even having the seat at the top position, I can only confirm that. So this is my typical seat position that I use. As you can see, I still have around 1 centimeter more if I would like to have my seat a bit higher, but that's actually a bit even too high for me. So it's good for tall people. The last thing on the bike size is the folding, which is like super easy and straightforward. So first of all, you need to make the pedals smaller by folding the pedals. And then there is the safety latch, which you open and the handlebars kind of fall down. And then you have little safety latch here, the main latch, which when it opens, the bike just goes in half. Just adjust the pedal position and now your bike is fully folded. As you can see now, the seat tube or the battery is sticking out, but that's a small problem because you can collapse it. And actually, if you disconnect the wire, you can just take it all together out, which also works fine if you need to bring it for charging home or you don't want to leave it even though it's lockable. But you can take it out and use it for some like baseball games or something else. When you fold your bike and you want to keep it together, Hygge Bikes provides you with this Velcro strap which you can use if that's something that you like to kind of secure it. So you just put it like this and then secure your bike together. And now you know you can carry it around easily and it stays in one piece. But actually, I noticed one little life hack, which is not in Hygge's manual. But if I just remove that strap, there is this rubber cargo locking band, and that works absolutely fine for locking the wheel together like this. And it also stays together, and for me that's much easier solution than carrying the band somewhere around. Unfolding the bike, it's super simple as well. I release the band, put it back in its place, then just unfold the bike into one piece, lock, lock, put back the handlebars, kickstand, and then the C2 battery thing goes back in. Here we have it. Your bike is ready to roll. Well, pedals. Now it's ready to roll. Even when the battery runs low, you can reach 25 kilometers per hour without bigger issues. But there is one thing that you cannot do in this very nice looking and informative screen, and that thing is you cannot actually change the speed limit on the bike. If you try to do it, this window will appear asking you for the PIN code, and Hygge Bikes is not giving away these PIN codes because they're very serious about the adhering to speed legislations in Europe and so on. Now, if anyone knows what's the PIN code, please send me a comment. It still has an okay size wheels, and even though there is no suspension and it's not fat tires, you can still ride if you're not going soft terrain like soft sand. It will drive you through gravel roads in a relative comfort because the wheels are just large enough for rolling over tiny bumps and rocks and whatnot. And also you have electrical assistance if you need a little bit more power. Alright, I currently ride a bike with zero assist, and it can absolutely be ridden without the motor. So if you run out of battery, just want a regular ride, I hope I don't go down here. Hygge Virum is not an off-road bike in any ways. The road tires are small and they don't grip well on sandy terrain and so on. So if you need a more off-roady bike, better check their Vester or some other bikes. And because these tires don't really grip that well going downhill fast on a sandy trail, ask me how I know it. That did not go well. So the battery is showing 8%, but the bike is not accelerating anymore. On my first full charge, I got around 41 kilometers out of this 10 amp hour battery bank. When the dashboard is showing 6 to 8%, this is where the bike starts cutting off. So right now it only speeds up to 16-18 kilometers per hour, but I have done 83 kilometers in 2 charges. So that leaves me with 41.5 kilometer on average from this battery pack, while continuously riding in full speed mode. Speed mode 5, assist mode 5, whatever you want to call it. One more thing I would like to mention is the brakes. The bike has easiest, the most overpowered brakes on any electrical bike that I tried. So this thing only goes 25 kilometers per hour, but it has double hydraulic disc brakes, and the disc size is 100, was it 80 millimeters in the front and in the back. So if I need to make a quick stop, I just, here I am, I'm standing still. This is literally the most overpowered brakes I have had on any bike. So with brakes like this, I would be comfortable going on an enduro bike downhill, I think. Not to mention a very light 25 kilometers per hour bike that is not meant for riding off-road. So to conclude, I would like to start with some trade-offs, because there is no universally great or bad things. Most of the, well, there are some really bad things, but most of the things have upsides and downsides. So the key downsides or the trade-offs with the Hygge Virum, for me, first of all, is the price. It's above 1,600 euros. It's easily twice the price of some Asian brand bike that looks similar. And the second trade-off is being super light bike. It doesn't feel as super sturdy, frame. So what I mean, it's completely fine for a person of 100, 110 kilos, right, riding on it in normal conditions, but it's probably not a great bike to go off-road and do jumps down the drops and so on, or ride down the stair sets. I wouldn't do that. It doesn't feel that sturdy because of all of the parts are disassemblable, and it's meant to be a light city rider rather than, off-road downhill beast, which is understandable. Now, on the opposite side, you get so much for the price of this bike. Well, first of all, buying a European bike, Hygge bikes, first of all, you can buy it on so many places around Europe and UK, Decathlons, Elgiganten in Denmark and so on. You can find all the suppliers on the Hygge Bikes website. But what's more important for me personally is that the company have service agreements with, in Denmark, it's cykel-mekanikeren.dk company. So there is a network of bike repair shops that you have an agreement that they will fix your bikes, your Hygge bikes, if you bring them there. And they also do all the warranty service. Probably my favorite feature of the bike is that it doesn't look like an e-bike. It has this thicker like seat post underneath my ass right here, but that's more or less it. Other than that, it looks like it's almost a regular folding bike. So it's like a little sneaky electric bike. And with these tiny wheels, because you have electric assistance, you can still do 25 kilometers per hour, no problem whatsoever, in the wind, going uphill and so on. That's really nice. The bike has an absolute overkill disc brakes, which are hydraulic, coming from a company called Tektro. And also one important mention here is that all the components, like, you know, if you look at the rear derailleur, is Shimano Alto, doesn't matter, but it's a branded thing. It's not a knockoff Shimano with Shimano nothing. It's an actual original part that you will get on this bike, and that goes all over the place, you know, all the nice handles, all the super bright LCD screens, and so on and so forth. So you have a components that will most likely last you for years. I've been riding this bike now for 3 months-ish around, and I've been riding in the rain and leaving it outside in the rain. There is no signs of rust, there is no signs of any, you know, electrical issues because it got water on it, and that's always nice. It also comes with headlight, tail light, and even USB-C charging port on the dashboard right here, which, you know, I don't need to buy anything extra to actually use this bike, which is always nice and welcome. Quite intentionally, I left best for the last, and I want to say that this bike I completely underestimated how much will I be using this bike, because it's so light and so mobile. I take it on my boat when I go for my sailing trips, so I can, you know, put it on my inflatable boat and go explore little islands here and there, and then, you know, have my dog running with me and really enjoy myself while having the bike and not taking that much space. So if you need a really light and mobile bike that you can take everywhere while still enjoying like a full-size bike riding comfort, you know, and still pack it into this tiny little bubble and then roll 25 kilometers per hour on the grass, I look very positive at the Hygge Virum. I would like to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and I see you in the next video.